These are both very low-level players. Neither of them is... I think they're both Silver League or Bronze League. But there is nothing wrong with that, because that means that we could just see anything in this matchup. Anything at all. There. My overlay reminder is now taped to one of my screens. So we do have the barracks, the gateway. Now I can't even get my own race right. We do have the gateway going down at the top of the ramp now, with that one little hole right here. No, never mind, that is not a hole right there. There's going to be a hole at the top then for a zealot to wall that off completely. We do have a supply depot wall going up now, which has become popular among some high-level players. Because it will make it so you do not reveal this tech that is going down on your barracks. A lot of players will finish off the ramp with a add-on from their barracks, and in this case, you just don't get to see that. And so we do have a tech lab going down, so we will probably be seeing a stim or concussive play of some sort. I'm Sean O'Connery. And out of our Protoss play right now, we do have a second gas geyser going down, so we will be seeing some sort of tech play. And 2 gateways, Cybercore, everything a standard so far in this game. Marauder coming out right now. No tech quite yet. Going for a second barracks instead. We have not seen what he will be making out of this. And concussive shell, obviously, very, very potent versus versus Protoss in the early game. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. We do have... Oh, okay, so the hole is on the bottom side here. We do have the Zealot finishing off the wall, so there will be no Marine run-by, which is oh so common in PvT. Sarcasm. And really nothing has developed for either of these players yet. A fairly late orbital command, but that's not too big of a deal. It's not too big of a deal. It's 22 Harvesters to 19. GerMayne looks just a little bit more refined than myownhell in this case. We finally do have a research. It is going to be Stimpack in this case. We are going to have Stimpack on the way for myownhell. And yeah, a lot of Marauders. I actually think if he's going to be making this many Marauders, I actually feel Concussive Shell might have been the better option. Because while he might not kill things as quickly with Concussive Shell, he will lose less, which will give him the opportunity to do more. So that is his choice though. Stimpack obviously very, very good upgrade. Concussive Shell good as well. Warp Gate even better than both those combined though, I'd say. Even freaking better. 2 gases taken for GerMayne. No tech really laid down yet. We don't know what he's doing. He might be going for an expansion as he does have this probe in position for that. And yes, there it goes. He was just saving up his minerals. We also have the forward pylon right here. Now this is an excellent forward pylon placement right behind this wall of stuff. I think it's supposed to be weeds of some sort, but it's kind of hard to tell. And I say it's excellent placement for 2 reasons. One is behind this, so if myownhell decides to take this expansion, he will not see this unless he passes this wall. And 2, if a medevac drop comes from the main base and runs along the bottom side of this map, then it will have to run right over the top of this pylon, and it'll be much easier for GerMayne to spot that. So we do have a 2-gate expansion coming out of GerMayne with a forge to follow it up. Protosses lately have been favoring the +1 armor versus Terran in the early game because those Marines obviously the fast DPS, low damaging units. A lot of Marauders out. Stimpack just about to finish. I don't know if he's planning on doing some sort of timing push with that just to see if he can do a little bit of damage, or if he's just kind of getting that as a preemptive defensive stim. We do have a command center being built in the base of myownhell. That'll be nice because otherwise he would have been a little bit behind on the economy. As this Nexus is now finished, a probe now being built. A few probes being queued up. That's not too big of a deal though. Chronobus going down on both of those, looking to secure a supply advantage in the side of probes, I suppose. On the economy tab, we do see 33 to 27 harvesters in the favor of our Protoss player. Supplies now even now. However, GerMayne does have a larger cap, which means that he has the bigger army. Right? Yes, that is the first time I've gone to the big face, and I will never do it again on the Starcraft cast. That is pretty much an amnesia penumbra thing only. We do have one gateway not warped into a warp gate yet. However, that'll come soon, I'm sure. We do not have armor yet either. A little bit of an engagement down here. Nothing too big. Both players did lose a few units, but not too much. There was the stim on the units of GerMayne. Yes, GerMayne's Protoss units stemmed up. No, myownhell did stem his units, so they're all a little bit weaker for this next fight. Now, this could really go either way, because the weakened units does give GerMayne a bit of an advantage in this battle, but if myownhell decides to stem again, he could definitely win this, and not with 2 cannons there. I take that back. Toss with stim, Drool. Yes, I love the chat's response to that. Now, there is another stim here, and actually, GerMayne really should have pressed that, because by falling back into the cannon line, he took a lot of extra shots from those Marauders. Now, it looks like he's going to clean this up regardless. These Zealots, obviously so good when there is no micro going on, doing 16 damage a pop, minus 2, actually, because there is 1 armor on all of those units. We do have an armory down now, so it looks like we will probably be seeing some sort of Thor play, maybe. That would be rather interesting. I know T has been favoring Thor play versus Protoss lately, and it's been very, very fun to watch. Let me tell you folks, those are such fun games to cast. 2 more gateways now being dropped for GerMayne. Somewhere around here, a terrible scan. Scanning the expansion where really you're going to see nothing but the army. It would be much better to scan inside the main base. Then you could see this Twilight Council, which is researching nothing. He could see the number of gateways. And really, not too much going on. There is this robotics facility on the high ground right there. I don't know if that was scanned or not, however. This pylon still down here could be pesky at any point, just warping in 2 or 3 Zealots is all he needs. And a planetary fortress at the expansion for myownhell. That seems ridiculously unnecessary, as really you need the mules to stay up with the economy of the other player, with the other 2 races. We do see 46 to 36 harvesters, which actually does give an army advantage in this case to myownhell. And yes, we do have this Thor on the field now, a second Thor on the way, and vehicle weapons level 1 being researched. But if myownhell is content to just sit back and play, then so is GerMayne, and GerMayne is going to have a very scary army in just a little bit here. And to the people in chat asking, no, I'm not looking for people to cast tonight, because tell you what, Glenn, Erroneous in the chat, yes, I will take you in to cast a game with me. Go ahead and get on Skype. I will get on after this game, and we will try to get that worked out. It didn't work too well the other night. We will try again tonight. We have double upgrades now, getting back to the game. We have double upgrades coming in from these 2 forges. A second Thor just finished up. Vehicle weapons, level 1, almost finished now. And a Stargate on the way for our Protoss player. Where is that Stargate? It is right here. I don't know exactly. Yes, I also need players. Players are always welcome to play. You can play the next game as you have not yet played. Light Kite, you can go ahead and come on and cast the next game with me then. The Stargate is just about to finish, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out. I would suspect a Void Ray, because Phoenixes are very micro-intensive units, and really there are no air units in the sky as of now for our Terran player. So down here, the planetary fortress unnecessarily sitting there and guarding absolutely nothing. This very clumped together here, not too big of a deal. Another Thor on the way, another Thor, and we have a push out coming from myownhell. It looks like we're going to have a bit of an engagement here. Charge is now finished, and there needs to be some guardian shields going down. The force shields are going to be completely used as these Thor are in the way, and it looks like these Thors mopping up the Zealots. We could really use another warping of Zealots here, or maybe even Stalkers at this point. The Thor's just doing work on all of these units. Now, we do have a bunch of Zealots being morphed in here. I do not know if it's going to be enough. Now, pushing into the cannon line is myownhell. These Zealots are doing quite a bit of damage to these Thors, so I don't know if the Thors are going to be able to take them. And 1 more Zealot does fall, and the Zealots do try to charge back into the combat for some reason. Stupid AI. And these Thors are going to win and push back into the base for some reason. Now, more Zealots are being morphed in here. 2 get killed instantly. 3 survive. And 1 Thor is almost going to fall, but not quite. He's left with 72 health and 9 kills. Now, there are no reinforcements coming up from myownhell. He could really use to reinforce his army as GerMayne is in quite a bad position. This cannon might be the hero of the day. No, the Thor is left with 15 health left. It is now blessed through all the defenses. Blink is not yet finished. More zealots being warped in, and the focus fire on the Nexus allows these zealots just enough time to morph in, and both Thors will now fall. However, a very successful attack, I'd say. myownhell with those 2 Thors just doing so much damage, and there is already another Thor down here, and 2 more Thors on the way. Weapons level 2 is almost done. It is just a little bit over halfway. No armory being researched yet, so there's really no reason for the second armory at this point in time. Now, we do have weapons level 2 on the way for our Protoss player, which will be nice to counter this Thor armor. Why does the Thor only have armor of 1? And if you look to this picture over here, you will see the special edition version of the Thor. There is a dance party going on in there. A dance party! A dance party! And it is super exciting. That is awesome that he is the special edition. That is something you don't see every day. Now, we do see a third base being taken by myownhell. He would really benefit by taking down these rocks. Immortal, now on the way. That is the right follow-up, as well as a Templar archive. And if he knows to feed back those Thors, he could actually look to be in a fairly good position. He could come back out of that little deficit that he dug himself into. He really didn't lose any workers in that battle. So, there wasn't much of a deficit, except for the units lost tab. Now, Storm is on the way, as well as a Void Ray and 4 more cannons. He has the mineral income for it, though, so why not? Observer getting a full scout over this army. He will know that there is a lot of Thors here, and it looks like he's once again going for Storm play rather than that feedback play. He could still feedback, but getting Storm kind of shows that he's looking to storm the biological army. And it looks like GerMayne now as well is going to take his third base, and I'm actually rather surprised that we have not seen a warp in from this pylon do a little damage. I think GerMayne has actually forgotten about that pylon there, and he could do quite a bit of damage actually if once myownhell moves out, like for instance right now. He could warp in and 3 zealots. Put him in the mineral line, and with charge they can chase down those SCVs. Now it should be interesting to see where myownhell decides to go with this army. If he goes for the third or if he goes for the natural. There's the cancel on the natural. Now GerMayne knows that this army is on the way, I would believe, and he's a little bit scared of it. For good reason. There are a lot of Thors there. There are 4 Thors there, backed up by a biological army. But it looks like there's a fairly decent composition here. As long as he puts up Guardian Shields and not Force Shields, he should be fine. No Guardian Shields pop yet. The Zealot's stuck behind all of these units. There goes a Storm on the biological units, doing so much damage. All the biological units have now fallen, and there's the feedback on 1 Thor. However, there's not enough Templar energy to feedback another. Actually, there was enough Templar energy to feedback 1 more. However, these Thors are still standing. They're doing a lot of damage. 1 Thor might fall here. No, not quite. There are 2 Argons being morphed in, as well as 5 Zealots. 6 Zealots from the other side. These Argons are pretty much the last ditch defense. 1 Thor might fall. It still has 14 health left. It will survive because the AI does not automatically target the weakest units. And now that Thor finally just fall to a piece of cannon fire. However, it looks like myownhell is in a very good position in this right. He's just watching his battle though. He's not remacroing at home, as you see in this tab here. He's really banking up a lot of minerals, and there's the right maneuver. He made sure to warp in those zealots far away from the battle. Now the Nexus at the expansion does fall. A second Thor does fall as well, and this third Thor is going to be able to survive. And it will be interesting to see if myownhell decides to push into the main and try to do a little bit of damage, or if he will just take out whatever is left on the bottom. Now once again, this pylon not doing anything, and there's the GG from GerMayne. He was really not able to do too much more in that game, as well it was over. He lost his expansion. He couldn't secure his third base, and that was just about the end of the game for him. That Thor build, very, very powerful versus Protoss, as we are seeing. First started by T, and now it looks like myownhell has picked it up. And it's just an interesting build to watch. Those Thors can tank so much damage. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I will be back after just a brief break so I can get another game set up and drink my coffee.